From NewsNation headquarters, this is NewsNation Prime.
We are tracking hundreds of protests taking place across the country today to oppose policies instituted by the Trump administration. Labor unions and civil rights organizations are among the groups leading the hands-off protests against President Trump and advisor Elon Musk after the firing of thousands of government workers and crippling several agencies, plus the institution of the recent tariffs. For that and more, we are bringing in our panel, Republican strategist Matt Klink and Democratic strategist and criminal defense attorney David Katz. Gentlemen, welcome both of you. I'm glad that both of you are here. David, why don't we start with you on these protests, showcasing, of course, some of the unease, some of the anger Americans are feeling about the policies enacted so far. But does this move the needle at all? Aren't all of these protesters people who didn't vote for Trump anyways?
You know, I don't think that it's ineffective. I think that it's actually quite effective. Of course, what's moving the needle now is that older people are scared about the cuts to Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, that they won't be able to reach anyone on the phone. They won't be able to get relief if it gets botched up. A lot of these people, you know, we can be cavalier about it if we're wealthy or upper middle class, but for them, they live paycheck to paycheck. It really matters. A lot of them voted for Trump on cultural grounds. Now they're demonstrating, not just like you've shown, they're demonstrating out here at old folks' homes and all of this all over the country. And this has, of course, hurt middle-class people in their portfolio. It's hurt people who are saving. They're getting crushed. So I think regarding the demonstrations, it's really not a matter anymore of Democrats gloating or being happy about it. It's obvious that the House and the Senate are both going to both going to go Democratic in a year and a half. But the question is, can we survive that year and a half? Can people's portfolios and the environment and people who receive Social Security? And so we're hanging on, trying to survive in America. It's just unbelievable how the American people, including the Trump voters, now are repudiating him and just trying to survive. But in terms of the trend, he's a rash demagogue who's just completely had the wheels come off, has Trump.
Matt, let's bring your voice in here. Do you think anyone is listening to these protests? Is it moving the needle?
No, not at all. David, I respect your opinion, but wow. No, look, these are a lot of the crazies that were voting on the 80-20 issues that America sided with Donald Trump, who's on the 80 side. These are just the disgruntled people who hate the orange man and will do anything to protest him. It was not a question of if, it was always a question of when. And I think equally important, they're also frustrated at the complete lack of focus or any intestinal fortitude by anyone in the House or the Senate or any national leader, for that matter, who has a D behind her or his name. So no, I don't take these things seriously. It's more of the same. They're just the unhappy people who are all Kamala supporters, and now they're really worrying because look, we're not even 100 days in yet, and look at all the amazing things that Donald Trump has done.
Are these all unhappy Kamala supporters, David?
No, I don't think so. More than 100,000 people turned out in Washington, D.C. A lot of them lost their jobs. A lot of them have their economic futures imperiled. And so they're coming out. That's not really what we think of as the Kamala voter necessarily.
Well, and David, let me ask you quickly, sorry to jump in here. It's not just about the reshuffling and the massive cuts to federal agencies. It's also about the sweeping tariffs that we saw implemented by Trump on Wednesday. You know, that announcement leading to 2 days of markets falling. The administration and supporters say this is short-term pain for long-term gain, an opportunity to get really rich. Is that how you see it?
Is that for me?
Yep.
No, that's not how I see it at all. The tariffs are not going to work. The way that you can do, and I was a Democrat who proudly worked for President Reagan. And the way that you would do something like this is you would unite the rest of the world behind you. You would not be having a fight with the economic union or with your allies. You would focus just on China. And then you would show China that we could take it as long as China could take it. But China knows very well that their autocratic regime and their command economy can take it a lot more than we can. We have a very unpopular president getting more unpopular. We don't have any kind of a mandate that people are going to take a 10 or 20% hit to their retirement accounts so we can stand up to China. And even if you thought that maybe this could work, it can't work because people won't invest billions of dollars in bringing plants back to America with this mercurial president, and the fact that his tariffs won't last long, and the EU is about to blast us back, and every one of our allies is about to blast us back, Trump will surrender, declare victory, give a bombastic speech, and we'll be right back where we started, but we're 15% in the hole on our retirement accounts.
Okay, so Matt, let's talk about the tariffs here. We do see Republican Senator Rand Paul speaking out against the tariffs, even saying that they could cost Republicans the House and the Senate in 26. Do you think his fears are warranted?
Well, look, first of all, this has been Rand Paul's issue for a long time before Donald Trump was in office. He's been beating this drum for a very long time. In fact, he inherited it from his father. In terms of the tariffs themselves, look, I think that anybody who says they know what's going to happen long term with the tariffs is fooling themselves. But what I can tell you is that the tariffs are part of a bigger strategy that the Trump administration is implementing. And a key piece of that strategy fell into place last night or yesterday morning in the Senate when the Senate approved a budget resolution that now allows them to go to Congress or go to the House with a conference committee. And if they pass a budget resolution, then they can pass a reconciliation package, which then allows them to pass the Trump tax plan into effect. Natasha, I do want to add something, though. You know, I was walking around New York City today. I didn't see any signs up about tariffs. I saw signs up about, trans rights and stop the deportation of illegal immigrants. I mean, not the stuff nothing on the tariffs. It's all of the extreme far left progressive issues. Look, there's a lot of pink hair and a lot of nose rings at these protests. These are not your normal voters. They're certainly not people that voted for Donald Trump. They're way more likely to be Kamala Harris voters.
We are out of time, but Matt Klink, David Katz, appreciate you both. Thank you.